The crystal glasses in the back of your china cabinet, the ones with a faint chip nobody ever fixed, have sat untouched since a wedding 30 years ago. Some of what is in that cabinet is worth $10, plain and simple, and I will tell you which pieces those are without dressing it up. Other pieces from the exact same maker have sold for over $3,000 at auction. Number 1 on this list is a pattern nearly every one of you already owns, sitting in that cabinet right now. Let us see if you own one. Mismatched stemware. Number 10, a single wine glass, the stem thinner than a pencil but heavier than it looks, standing alone at the back of a shelf because the rest of its set vanished decades ago into a divorce, a move, or a box that never got unpacked. It looks like the odd glass nobody wants at a yard sale, the one that gets tossed in with the donations because it does not match anything else in the cupboard. No one faults you for that. A lone glass looks like nothing. Here's the truth. Nobody tells you at a yard sale table. This is Waterford's Colleen pattern, introduced in the 1950s and considered one of the hardest cuts an apprentice glass cutter had to master before earning full status on the factory floor, which is exactly why the diamond and oval cuts on it run so precise. A single glass like this brings $8 to $15. Not even enough for 2 coffees. A complete boxed set of 8, with the original paper labels still attached, has sold for well over $300, close to a car payment for some of you. Your test tonight. Tap the rim gently with a fingernail and listen. Real lead crystal sings for a full second or more. Cheap glass gives a dull, flat thud and stops instantly. Most people who broke up a set scattered the singles across 3 different donation bins, never realizing they had thrown away pieces of the exact same complete set that would have sold together for real money. Souvenir bells. Number 9, a small crystal bell on the mantle, the handle worn smooth from decades of dusting, the kind of thing that gets picked up and put back down without a second look every single day. It looks like a tourist souvenir and probably was one, bought at a gift shop or brought home from a trip. No one faults you for treating it that way. Here's what that bell might be hiding underneath it. Waterford sold bells like this at its own factory shop starting in the 1950s. But pieces made before 1950 carry no etched mark at all, only a small golden green paper seahorse sticker, since Waterford did not begin acid etching its name into the glass until that year. A common later bell brings $20 to $40, barely a fast food order for 2. A pre-1950 bell with that original sticker still intact in its original box has sold for over $150. Your test tonight. Turn the bell over and, using a phone flashlight held at a low angle, look for either the etched Waterford script at the base or a fading gold sticker. Do not rub or clean it first. Well-meaning polishing over the years has scrubbed that exact sticker off more valuable bells than any dealer would like to admit, erasing the one piece of proof that would have doubled the price. Candlesticks and bowls. Here the mood shifts a little, because from this piece forward, condition starts to matter more than almost anything else on this list. Number 8. A pair of crystal candlesticks on a shelf, one of them with an edge that feels slightly rough if you run a thumb across it, though you likely have never noticed. It looks used, maybe a little worn, and no one faults you for keeping the imperfect one instead of replacing the pair entirely. Here's what that rough edge is actually costing you. This is the Alana pattern, a wheat-like cut introduced in 1958, and its name comes from the Gaelic word for harmony, which is almost funny given how much a single flaw disrupts the price. A chipped pair like this brings $15 to $25, barely worth boxing up. A matching, undamaged pair has sold for $150 to $250, close to a week of groceries for many households. Your test tonight. Run a fingernail slowly along every single edge and rim, feeling for the smallest catch. A chip can be smaller than a grain of rice and invisible to the eye, yet it cuts the price of the entire pair in half, not just the damaged piece. One seller let a flawed pair go for scrap money, and the buyer later found a perfect match at another sale, then sold the completed pair for 10 times what they paid. Christmas ornaments. Number 7. An ornament box tucked into the Christmas decorations, the tissue paper inside gone yellow with age. Easy to mistake for just another bulb from the craft store. It looks like decoration clutter, nothing more, and no one faults you for packing it away without a second thought every January. Here is why that particular box matters. Waterford began its 12 Days of Christmas Ornament series in 1982 with the partridge in a pear tree, adding one new design each year afterward, each one etched with its own year, and retired the moment the next year's piece launched. A common ornament from the middle of that run brings $20 to $40. A boxed first-year partridge, with its certificate still included, has sold for well past $200. Verify. More than a nice dinner out. Your test tonight: find the year etched into one of the flat facets near the top of the ornament, and check that it matches the year printed on the box. A matching year and an original box together can roughly double what a dealer offers you. Loose ornaments get packed in with everything else, and the boxes that prove the year are usually the very first thing thrown out during a spring cleanout. Decanters. Number 6. A cut crystal decanter in the sideboard, slightly cloudy from years of use. The stopper wedged in so tight it barely turns. It looks like something only fit for vinegar at this point, and no one faults you for writing it off. Here is what that stopper is actually worth on its own. This is the Lismore decanter, and every stopper was hand ground at the factory to fit one specific bottle and no other, which means the stopper and base are a married pair, not interchangeable parts. A decanter with a mismatched or missing stopper brings $30 to $50. The same decanter with its original matching stopper has sold for $150 to $300, more than a month of a fixed grocery budget for some of you. Your test tonight: pull the stopper out gently, then set it back in from a slightly different angle than usual. A true matched stopper seats perfectly only one specific way and settles with barely a sound. A mismatched one will rock, feel loose, or catch unevenly. More than one collector has swapped stoppers between two decanters to make a display look even, quietly cutting the value of both pieces in half without realizing it. Before we get to the top 5, there is something most people never stop to see. Appearance has nothing to do with what any of these pieces are worth. It never has. It comes down to a small set of signals: the mark, the condition, and whether the piece is whole. That is the entire skill this video is teaching, one item at a time. If you want the full walkthrough, there is the Waterford Mark and Value Guide, where I go through every mark by decade, the dating clues collectors actually use, and a full condition checklist you can run on anything in your cabinet. It is linked below if you want it. Now, back to the countdown. From this point up, every piece I name is one somebody has learned to fake. Chandeliers. Number 5. The light fixture over your dining table. Dusty, prisms slightly dulled, hanging there every single evening without a single person in the room ever looking up and thinking twice about it. No one faults you for that. You live under it. It becomes wallpaper. Here is why that fixture might be the most valuable object in the entire room. Waterford made crystal chandeliers and lighting fixtures for decades before discontinuing the entire lighting category, which means no new ones are being made. Only the same finite supply getting smaller every year as pieces break or get replaced. An ordinary vintage Waterford chandelier brings $500 to $2,000, close to a month of rent. A large documented pair from the right period has reportedly been offered for well over $80,000. For the set your test tonight, hold a bright light directly against the base and every hanging prism, since fixtures made after 1986 often have the mark etched into a small groove instead of a flat surface, and it is easy to miss without the light held right against the glass. Hold number 2 in the back of your mind here, because it is the one I most want you to go check tonight, and it is still coming. One fixture lost real value the moment an electrician rewired it and tossed the damaged old glass prisms, replacing them with plain glass that matched nothing. Millennium collection. Number 4. A box marked Waterford 2000, or simply Millennium, maybe still holding a set of flutes given as a gift decades ago and never used since. It looks like leftover party favors from a New Year's celebration nobody remembers clearly anymore. No one faults you for not knowing what it actually is. Here is what makes that box different from ordinary Waterford stemware. The Millennium collection was released for the year 2000 in limited production runs, with several individual designs made only for that single release, before being retired the following year. A standard clear flute set from that release brings $40 to $80. A themed piece from the limited colored runs has sold for $200 to $400. Verify. Roughly a car payment. Your test tonight. Check for the specific year etched beside the seahorse mark, since only pieces from that one production run carry it, and confirm you have a full matched set rather than a single leftover survivor, which changes the price dramatically. Whole boxed sets got split apart as individual gifts to family members more often than any other item on this list, scattering what would have sold together as one much more valuable set. Signed showpieces. Number 3. An unusually heavy ornate piece, maybe a bowl or a sculpted form, sitting somewhere it does not quite belong. Nothing like the everyday stemware around it. It looks like something from a corporate award ceremony nobody ever explained. No one faults you for not knowing what it actually is. Here's what separates it from everything else on this list. Waterford's House of Waterford has occasionally produced commissioned or limited showpieces, some individually numbered or signed by the master cutter who made them, in production runs small enough to count on 2 hands. An unsigned, unnumbered decorative piece in the same style brings $100 to $300. A numbered or master-signed showpiece has sold for well past $2,000. Your test tonight: search the base and every flat facet, not just for the standard Waterford mark, but for a signature or an edition number. Something like 12 of 250, cut in smaller than the main mark. One owner mistook an edition number for a stray scratch and never mentioned it to an appraiser, who would have paid triple the moment they saw it. Colored crystal. Number 2, a piece with color in it, deep cranberry red or cobalt blue layered against clear glass, sitting in the back of a cabinet because it never quite matched the rest of the china. It looks flashy, almost gaudy, the kind of inherited piece nobody chose for themselves. No one faults you for hiding it in the back. Here is why colored Waterford is the most faked category on this entire list. Genuine colored crystal, made by layering color over clear lead crystal and then cutting through it, was produced in far smaller numbers than clear Waterford because the process was slower and more expensive, while cheap colored imitation glass flooded gift shops for decades using the exact same shapes. A piece proven authentic typically brings $150 to $400, and rare larger forms have sold past $1,000. Unmarked imitation glass in the same shape is worth $10 to $20, nothing more. Your test tonight: hold the piece up to bright light and look closely at where the color meets the clear glass. On genuine cased crystal, the color sits in its own distinct layer, and the cuts through it show real depth and sharp facets. Cheap imitation color is usually just painted or dyed on the surface and looks flat and even, with no depth at all when you look through the cut edges. One piece like this got donated as costume glass for $1, and the dealer who bought it recognized the true cased cut in under 30 seconds. Lismore stemware. This is the one nearly every one of you owns. It is the good glasses, the ones brought out for holidays and put carefully away in the china cabinet every other night of the year. More likely to be sitting in your home right now than any other item on this entire list. Fame is not value. The most recognized crystal pattern in the world is almost never the one worth the most, because the whole world already owns one just like it. This is the Lismore pattern, designed by Miroslav Havel in 1952, and it remains in production to this day, which is exactly why an ordinary Lismore glass still only brings $10 to $20, barely the cost of a single coffee. The value was never in the name printed on the box. It was always in the details. A complete, unchipped formal set from before 1970, goblets, wine glasses, and champagne flutes together, has sold for $1,500 to $2,500. Verify, close to a month's rent for many households. Your final test tonight uses every skill this video just taught you. Hold it to the light for the mark, tap it gently for the ring, and run a finger along every edge for a chip. Do all 3 on every piece in that cabinet before you decide any of it is worthless. Do not sell a single glass before you check the mark. Number 1 might already be in your cabinet tonight. Go look. If this saved you from selling something for $1, a like helps it reach someone else about to make that same mistake. Subscribe for next week's video, where we go through 10 pieces of vintage china sitting in ordinary kitchen cabinets that most people would never think twice about donating. And down in the comments, tell me, what's the oldest piece of crystal or glass in your house, and whose was it originally? I read every single one.